Namaste and hello everyone. I'm Tanya Krishna, Assistant Editor, FinancialExpress.com, and on the occasion of World MSME Day, we welcome you all to the With You, For You Season 3 panel discussion series presented by Reliance General Insurance and powered by FinancialExpress.com. At Financial Express, we have this three-part panel discussion series celebrating and addressing the backbone of our nation, the MSMEs. We have a session on affordable insurance, scalable growth, what MSMEs really need today. For this session, I welcome Mr. Rakesh Chabra, Vice President, FISME, Pavan Babu, Director, Prisha Insurance Brokers Private Limited, G. Vamshi Raju, MD and CEO, Vishisht Insurance Broking Services Private Limited, and Jay Govind Tripathi, CEO, Sorigin Insurance Brokers. With this discussion, we will try to highlight the urgent need for accessible and cost-effective insurance solutions as a foundation for the long-term success of MSMEs. While MSMEs are the backbone of the Indian economy, contributing significantly to employment and GDP, they often remain vulnerable to financial shocks due to inadequate risk coverage. As MSMEs look to scale, managing risk becomes as important as access to capital or markets. This theme explores how tailored insurance products, digital access, and supportive policy frameworks can unlock resilient and sustainable growth for India's vast MSME sector. On these lines, I'll move on to my first question to our panelist. If Mr. Rakesh Chabra can take this up. Why is insurance still seen as a cost rather than an investment by many MSMEs?
Now, see, first in MSMEs, we have to define micro, small, and medium enterprises separately. Right. And in the manufacturing sector, if you see, there are more than 95% of micro industry. Generally, what GDP you always talk about is coming from medium and small enterprises. So if we focus on that area, on medium and small enterprise separately and micro separately, so that will be really beneficial in the coming time. Because mostly in small and medium enterprises, the bank loans or some financial institution loans are there. And when the loan is there, insurance has to be there. So that you have to correct it, that for micro, it has to be separate. In the coming time, we can discuss on this, and small and medium enterprises, it should be separate. And when you talk about the cost for small and medium enterprises, the financial institutions are already, it is compulsory, mandatory to take the insurance. Right. So there's no question of cost and all that.
Pig, isn't it about a mindset change? Because for compliance, people do take it, but then they don't see it as an investment, and which is why the penetration of insurance in this sector is very low.
Yeah, I'll take this in two parts. Number one is that for if you count the number of manufacturing units of small and medium enterprises, the number is less than 1 million. And if even to be precise, the manufacturing industry that is employing more than 10 people, the 2-year-old figure was only 2.5 lakhs. Right. Only 2.5 lakhs. Now, if you compare with the insurance, number of insurances issued, you can come to know that most of medium and small are covered. Now, the second part, why we are not serious. It is a mandatory part. We are serious only on that. See, when any mishap happens, the attitude of the insurance company while paying back is really, really harassment, more harassment than the government is doing. Now, how it is being done? When you are taking the insurance, no, not much questions are asked. But when you are going for a claim, first they will ask, have you got the fire NOC? When you are booking the insurance, why haven't you asked the question at that time? Now, why you are asking? They will say that you haven't read that 500-page booklet. It is there. Is it possible for MSMEs to read all those pages? Even one page is not readable. There should be only bullet points which are necessary for giving the claims. And the claims should be settled within 7 to 10 days. I have examples with me where the claims are taking 3 years and they are not settled. then why we should go for that? That interest is not created. Because after that, the harassment part, that we have to look into. There are a lot of other things I have noted it down. I'll explain you one by one as you give me the chance. Yeah.
Perfect. So while I was going to go around the room with the same question, on that note, I'll move to problems with claims. So if one by one, all of you can give your point of view on the hassles, the problems that MSMEs or companies face while claiming, while getting the claims from the insurance companies or distributors. If Mr. Pavan Babu, if you could take this up.
Yes, actually, Rakesh ji is well said. In insurance companies, main lack of knowledge behind the claim settlement is a major problem, basically. Because in other sectors, like say financial, in banking sector, NPA is a major issue, but standard conditions are the same. But in insurance claims, no standard conditions are in place. In policy, no, in any page, not mentioned ki if fire NOC is not in place, claim will not payable. This is a very big question in insurance industry. Because of this clause, this warranty, insurance companies denying the claim. This is a major problem, I think so. Because of standard of not a policy document, this is a major problem in industry.
Is there a way? How do we solve this problem, ma'am?
So I think so. Please standard the policy document. In last 3 years back, insurance ministry is take an initiative. If you go in policies like fire policies, they have decided for a MSME and SME. If you take a fire policy, this is called the Sukshma policy, up to the 5 crore, and above the 5 crore, but up to 50 crore. This is a Sukshma policy. This is a very initiative like for a standard the policy document. But after 2 years, nobody is follow the conditions, and again, this is our untariff based. Price is major impact in this type of sectors. Reason behind the cost is major part. As a MSME is a major part of how much premium I will pay at a time of claim or before the time of claim. If any client pay the 5 lakh rupees premium, if any claims come of rupees 2 crore rupees, then insurance companies maybe is a doubt of the mind ki claim settle hoga ya nahi hoga. First thing. Second thing is ki at a time of claim, if insurance company paid the claim, next year they ask too much of premium. This is not a practical way.
If we can go with the same question to Mr. Jay Govind Tripathi.
So, Tanya, I think it's a good question, and at the end of it, what is important that claim to be paid hassle-free and claim to be paid on time and claim to be paid, for the fair amount. Now, what happens? These policy terms and condition, now they are really fine print, and most of the customer they do not go through those fine print. Now, another challenge which prevails in the industry is with respect to the standard claim process. Now, what happens when any claim happens, say in one of the factory or in a small project site? Now, the client doesn't know that what they need to do. Claim process is never defined in the policy copy. Now, there could be a surveyor who is appointed. Now, surveyor may come up, with say 40 line item. Another surveyor for the same claim can come up with a 70 line item, 70 document. 40 document, 30 document. Now, there should be, some code which should be actually made so that, the client knows even before the claim occurs that how, they need to respond to a claim situation. Now, that is where, the major challenge is. And then, the trust factor that what happens, when the survey is done. Now, the purpose of the survey, what would be the end result at that time after all the visits are done, documentation are done. Client never knows that what would be the fate of my claim. Now, as a good practice, as a best practice, I think insurance company along with the regulator and also maybe the MSME ministry they should actually come out with some standard guideline with respect to the claim for the MSME. Now, the first, confirm the admissibility of the claim within 7 days to 10 days. Okay, there are two important part of any claim. One is the admissibility, other is the assessment. Even after 1 year, 1.5 years, the client would not be clear whether his claim would be paid. Now, overseas, outside India, there are a lot of countries where there is an obligation on the insurer to confirm the admissibility within certain time-bound manner, whether my claim is admissible or not admissible. Now, if the claim is admissible, then I should be working on the host of the document which are required by the surveyor and by the insurance company. These are the 2-3 changes. One, code, create a claim code for the claim. That for the fire claim, these are the kind of document which client is required to really provide. Flood claim, these are the kind of claim document. Earthquake claim, these are the kind of breakdown claim, these are the kind of claim document are required. And fix the timeline for confirming the admissibility back to the client, and also the proper timeline for submission of the report and settlement of the claim. If these things are documented and also included as part of the policy, probably a lot of claim settlement ambiguity which exists today in the industry can be really sorted out.
Mr. Raju, if you would share some insights on this.
So standardization of the claim document is very important, as Mr. Jay Govind had said. But at the same time, standardization of a policy when we are selling it for an MSME is going to be very difficult and also not advisable, because each MSME is really bothered about his working capital. And you cannot standardize a document or a clear policy for everybody across the spectrum. So yeah, we have to come out with a lot of new policies for each of the sectors, but then claim standardization is extremely important. And educating the MSME, because he is taking the policy today because of the banker's pressure or an XYZ pressure. This pressure, and then he just generally thinks this is a push product. So he's just taking a policy because the banker is pushed onto him as he is given the loan. But is he going to read those documents? Definitely no, when the policy is given to him. But when the claim is occurred, he's just going round and round because the bankers are not equipped to obviously underwrite and have the claims understanding. So it's very important for them to handle claims, standardize it, and also ensure that they are educated before selling the policy.
So now coming to the affordability side of things, what are the key barriers MSMEs face in accessing affordable and relevant insurance products? If Mr. Shabra, you could.
Yeah. See, as I told you, the first thing, I just read out only one line, that fire analysis is required. And you take out the time, how much time they have taken, all of them, for explaining that. So how can you understand, if I put 100 questions, so how much time an MSME will take to understand all these things? Instead of all these things, while we are going for a health checkup, while we are going for a health insurance, they do have a system of taking health checkup.
Right.
Why don't you health check up the MSME? And don't put later on. See, in a claim, when a person is in hospital, they have to release on the same day the claim amount. Minimum of 75% they should release in the 7 days in an MSME case. They should do the health checkup before insuring. See, one more example I'll give you. I have written so many things. I don't know if every question is taking so much time, so how you will be able to complete it in time. But I'll put up my questions. The next question is that in a company, when two things are there. One are the companies which are in authorized industrial area. One are which are in unauthorized industrial area. In unauthorized industrial area, the insurance is given, but fire NOC is not given. That is a standard common practice. What to do about that? Then, secondly, in a case, in an industrial area where all the things are okay, fire NOC is also there, but some illegal construction is there. Say someone has put up a shed on the way because he is loading the truck and the material does not get wet, he covers that area. When the insurance people will come for the claim, what they will say, that they will try to make it sure that the fire has started from an unauthorized construction area in the factory. Then what to do? Again, ultimately, it goes to arbitration or mediation and they will settle it for 50%. First, the thing is that there is one more thing I'll add. One of our panelists, Mr. Vamshi Raju, he said that a single policy cannot be made for MSMEs. But I just wanted to update that the government companies, National Insurance, New India Insurance, they have MSME policies for insurance. They have made up some of the things which are common and it is available. They should study it, and the insurance companies which are private, they should also study those documents and should come over there. And one more thing here I'll add, that if in any case you are not able to justify all these claims later on, what you can do is you can have one single insurance made for a company. If the company is going into NCLT, if you are going into a total loss in fire or something big happens, one certain claim should be there. See, in a case of this, just now, Air India accident, the individual people may be having individual policies, but the airlines is also having their own policy, and they issue some 1 crore rupees per person they have said that will pay. So that type of a thing also can be thought of by the insurance companies to all the members, that this standard practice is there, that out of your claim, minimum of 50%, so we are giving you without asking anything. Just this is yours. That is just my suggestion.
Anybody would like to take on that? The 50% part.
What is important, this question is on affordable insurance. Okay. Now, what has happened over a period of time? I joined as a risk engineer way back in 1999, and whatever the tariff was created by then Tariff Advisory Committee, most of the insurance companies are still following, the same code and the same rate. Some, reclassification has been done by the IAB, but the real risk-based pricing, what pricing should be done for what kind of industry has not been done. Now, that is one thing. Insurance industry, with the help of maybe General Insurance Council or IIB, Insurance Information Bureau, actually they should seriously look into the pricing aspect for the MSME. That is one part of it. And other, today, every whether the industry is very well protected or not protected with proper, the hydrant system, proper smoke detector system, and any other risk mitigation arrangement which the industry has done. Now, there is no differential pricing. So as an owner of the business, I am discouraged to really invest on the, the risk mitigation tool. That concept should be brought back, and we should move more on the risk-based pricing. As far as, that 50% point, raised by Mr. Rakesh, I think that's a valid point. Now, what is important when any accident happens, now the money is the most crucial factor. Now, if the money comes, after 1 year, now during that 1 year period, that cash liquidity may not be available with the factory owner. Mm-hmm. Now, that is why I brought a point. Can you really confirm, the admissibility part of it in 3 days' time? And that doesn't take time. It's only the question of intent. If the intent is there to pay fast, it can be paid. Now, those discipline need to be put in place, that if there is a fire incident, if there is a flood incident, if there is a breakdown incident, let me find out the ways and means to pay to the customer within 7 days' time. That is very important, because that will give the confidence to that particular customer, who has suffered the loss, and also the message will spread to the rest of the MSME unit owner that, boss, I got the claim within 7 days time, and it is extremely useful to have the proper insurance. Now, another problem, which happens, like, I've seen one customer, he bought, 4 or 5 different machinery, and for each of the machinery, the bank has taken the insurance. When I asked him that, whether he have the insurance for the entire plant, he says, I do not know, sir, because my banks have been taking the insurance. So I think more than, the bank taking the insurance should still be taken by the client to make sure that whatever the property exists at, single location, now everything has been covered. Now, differential pricing for the good risk, bad risk, reclassification of the tariff rate which exists, and making sure that the customer, in the case of claim, get 50% of the expected claim amount within 7 days time. Yeah. So this is my take.
Mr. Raju, if you would like to talk on the affordability side of things, what are the key barriers MSMEs face, and are there enough products available which are customized to the need of MSMEs, or are that affordable for MSMEs?
Biggest challenge with the MSMEs is that they're not educated with insurance products. Now, when we talk about MSMEs, at least we can broadly classify into tier 1 cities and then probably tier 2, tier 3.
Right.
So tier 2, tier 3, reaching out to them is still a challenge for us. As most of the agents and brokers, we're not yet in the tier 3, tier 4 cities. Now, without educating them, today the MSME feels that this is insurance once taken is more a liability than probably covering his asset, which is he does not understand that he's paying an X amount of money today and then covering his asset for the next 365 days. Now, if that is properly went to or gone through to him or to all the other MSMEs in a structured manner and in a continuous manner in different fashions, probably associations and summits and all happening, then I think it's more educating for him. Typically, most of the MSMEs, they also feel that there is huge liquidity crunch for them. Money is for them is paid for their salaries or paid for their raw materials or the production costs rather than putting it onto insurance, because they feel that a claim might come once in probably a decade or so. But when it hits them, it hits their entire balance sheet really hard. So educating them in different channels is the only way which we can do it.
On the awareness side of things, Mr. Pavan, if you can take this one, do you believe insurance industry really understands the needs, unique needs of MSMEs? And if not, or if is, what needs to really change there?
I think so. 90% insurance company does not know the needs of SMME, because as a industry as a whole, some insurance policy need for a compliance purpose, and some policies need for a samely banking is asked for a insurance basically. Okay. And Raju well said ki we cannot standardize the product. If major problem in industry because of we don't want a standardized of product. My simple ask as a SME, please give me a policy as per my industry, and if any type of claim, fire claim or any act of God claim, please pay the amount within a 7 days or 15 days or 3 months. It is a simple way. Please not put the line that you have your hydrant is not workable, your smoke detector is not workable, your you have not taken a fire NOC. This type of issue, if happened in insurance industry, 101% we cannot grow. As a Reliance is basically organized this type of. Rakesh Jain is well said. If you don't take care of SMME or MSME, it will not grow like that as a foreign. If we take a simple policy, if any claims come, insurance company will pay. At a time of claim, no question will come ki what is the happen. Because if any two-wheelers insurance left, insurance company asks for an inspection. If any industry insurance left, near about some insured is 5 crore rupees, no question asked, insurance company give a new policy and add it anytime. So this is not a right way we are doing in insurance industry. Second is in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Even insurance companies employees not known the product very well. We are just giving a piece of paper and taking the commission and go to home and foreign trip. Simply.
Mr. Tripathi, any sort of view on this, if insurance companies or industry really understand the needs of MSMEs in terms of insurance products?
First thing I believe, the rating for the MSME should normally be, in line with the, what limits are given for the, MSME investment. Now it is 2.5 crore for micro and 12.5 crore, for the medium is small, and about 125 crore worth of asset for the medium. Now today, the industry is offering policy like Laghu, Such, and then standard fire policy, and discounts are available only for the, Laghu, Such, some insured below 5 crore. Now that, alignment should happen between, what the MSME Act says, what the government of India is saying, that who are the MSME, and whether, the MSME are given any preference in terms of pricing and in terms of understanding their risk. As far as understanding the risk, I believe that, most of the underwriter, may know in their personal capacity that, what are the risk and what solution to be provided. But when it comes to the organization level, organization are still following, the same old pattern of pricing and giving the product. Now, what should be done, that, really underwriters should reach out, maybe along with the intermediary company like, Indus General Insurance, earlier they are the Reliance General Insurance. They should, more than doing this kind of seminar, should really reach out to the MSME on the ground, along with, some of the intermediary, to understand that what are the difficulty of the MSME industrialist, what are the kind of product, they are expecting, and how those product can really be built, in line with the requirement and expectation of the MSME. Until unless we, really do not take up those kind of exercises, whatever the desk underwriting we are doing today, we will, as an industry, continue to do the same desk underwriting and nothing will improve. So my suggestion would be to go to the field, go to the street, meet the industry body, meet the MSME association, understand from them what are their expectations, what are the kind of losses they suffer, and how well they are prepared to really handle the insurance product at the time of claim. Along with these meetings, some knowledge sharing initiative can also be done, that, how the sum insured to be fixed, how the claim is to be managed, what are the key things, which would be covered under the policy, and maybe if any gap exists, today, what expectations are there from the MSME owner, we can bridge that and build it in the policy so that it becomes a really seamless policy for the MSME owner.
Right. While we're talking at length about the lack of awareness and trust issues, Mr. Rakesh, if you can give some insights on how can government and industry bodies like FISME help bridge the awareness and trust gap around insurance?
Hi everyone, myself Jagan here. I'm representing Apex Insurance Broking Services, and I would like to thank Reliance General Insurance and your platform to elaborate more on MSME insurance advantages, disadvantages.
Welcome, Mr. Jagan. So Mr. Jagan Muddegunda is the director of Apex Insurance Broking Services Private Limited, and can you just we get a brief on your thoughts around this issue. Do you think the insurance industry understands the unique needs of MSMEs and what they really need, and in terms of affordability of insurance products, or even how customized it is for their particular needs?
That's a very good question, Tanya. Tanya has all the panel members who are present here has already briefed you about what MSME insurance is facing, the challenges right now.
Right.
And MSME, from my point of view, I feel like MSME is a very unsystematic or unorganized kind of sector where people are really not aware about like what kind of risk they are into and how to deal with those kind of risks. Because of short-term targets, because of short-term goals, they try to avoid taking an insurance. First of all, is that, and if at all, if someone takes insurance, so as Tripathi sir was also mentioning that they don't go deep into the product to understand whether that insurance is really catering to their needs or really protecting them. So that is one thing. Second thing is that when a claim arises during their operational phase, they don't maintain the documentation part very properly. Like, that is completely unorganized kind of thing. So, as Tanya, if you can correlate with any of your motor claim, once a claim arises, you will inform to the surveyor, and surveyor will ask you the set of documents and all those things. And once you need to fulfill all those things, then your claim is going to be processed. So that is what you know about it. But as a MSME owner, he is completely unaware of the process, procedure, and the requirement to fulfill the insurance claims. So that area, I feel we really have to work hard, and the government has to take initiative to establish some kind of campaigns, especially for MSME sector. Campaigns are very much required to share the knowledge to the all MSME members. Uh, that is the only thing which I feel that MSME insurance will smoothly run in India.
While we understand there's a problem with the awareness, but do you think there are availability of those tailored made insurance products or affordable products that would be viable for MSME companies?
Yeah, see, most of the insurance companies are coming forward to design a tailor-made policies for MSME, and now as IRD has given a permission to file and use kind of products. So every insurance company can easily create a tailor-made policies for MSME sector, and MSME owner can also take a single policy covering all their risks, whether that is related to their production, transportation, machineries, or employees working in that MSME sector. All can be covered in a single policy. That kind of facilities are already there in the market, and I'm very much aware that all the members know that MSME policies are a special package policies which are being created by most of the insurance companies. It is only the problem is that the things are not being communicated to the MSME owners or MSME members.
On that line, I'll move to Mr. Rakesh. If you can talk about what government and industry bodies like FISME are doing to really help bridge this awareness gap and trust gap as well.
Now, you see, when we are talking about awareness of MSMEs, even I'll tell you, the awareness between among our panelists is not there, that how the claims will be settled. So how they will aware us, you tell me. When they are not aware, how they will aware us, first. Secondly, the first touch point to every MSME is the bank. When we put an application for a loan and getting that loan sanctioned, there is nearly 30 days gap. We can say minimum 30 days gap. And in that 30 days, if awareing all the MSMEs, which may be educated, uneducated, unorganized, organized, what we are saying, but the banks are very educated, well organized, while issuing the loan, why don't they use that 30 days? First, they should aware the MSME branches of the bank that this is the thing they have to do. For that, the MSME owners, they will be secured, and the bank will be secured, and the government statutory payments will be secured. This is the way. If they go by this way, the banks can also check their policy and just question them that it should be easy and simpler way. So that one case can be that our banks can update the MSME owners along with the insurance people, that these are the parameters, and it should be bullet points, and in 1 page or 2 page, and in 10-15 minutes we should be able to explain. Not a few days it should take to explain and aware all the MSME people. We have so many laws, you know it very well, the government laws and all that. MSME is only one person organization, and there are so many laws that we have to follow. We can't go in depth and get aware about each and everything. So it should be in a summarized way, in a precise way. Pressy writing we have read in our time. I don't know now it is there or not. So it should be precise. Number one. Number two, the FISME part, when we are saying that it is correct. If the insurance companies join us, we are an organization of 740 MSME organization all over India. If any of the insurance companies join us and bring some policy which is benefiting our members, we can organize different type of seminars, online, offline, both ways, and we can educate people so that you should go with these policies and you should check these points. But then assurance should be there that if these 10 points or 15 points or what we define, if these are covered before taking the insurance, then your claim will come in 7 days in your account, not in the bank's account, in your personal account, minimum 50% of that. Some trust, we also need to educate people. We can't become the brokers for the insurance companies to just aware for them. If my members are benefited, we are there to do that. We are doing so many awareness programs. We'll be doing that also.
So Tanya, I would like to take this question from comment from Mr. Rakesh. So one, yes, as Rakesh ji had said, it's very important and a very good suggestion that health, like people when they do an health awareness or a health checkup before giving a policy, or at least certain details are given to him to understand when he's going for a health policy. Something like that on the same lines. Today we can look at an MSME and then probably take little time, a 7-day window, and then check his machinery or the line of business which he is in, and then give a policy to him so that the policy, if there is a claim coming up, then probably at least a certain amount can be deposited into his account or the bank's account, depending on what the bank regulation talks about. Yeah, but then coming to the second point, which he said that the members are not aware of the claim, I differ there. I didn't understand the logic of Mr. Rakesh on trying to put up saying that the members of the panel here do not understand the claim process or claim awareness, sorry. Rakesh ji, if you can elaborate, then probably panelists can take this question again.
I'll tell you, just when we started the discussion,
yeah,
it was told that all the claim persons who are coming to settle the claim, they have different set of questions. One is having 40 questions, one is having 70 questions, like that. So that was the thing when their system is not in place.
Yeah.
Then
so
how we will be able.
That's a good comment. In fact, a good suggestion also, because we have to look at.
I got this point, to the forum. See what is happening. This was with respect to the claim documentation which are asked by the surveyor. Okay.
Yeah.
Now for a similar kind of claim, you would see a lot of different document being asked by one of the surveyor. Somebody will say, you give me 3-year balance sheet, 5-year balance sheet, you give me the incorporation certificate, you give me the fire brigade report, you give me the GST certificate, and the list goes on. My point was, why not to have a clear, the code of conduct or clear set of the documentation for each kind of claim. We are evolving, industry is evolving. There are no code made for the claim. Rakesh ji, I've been in the claim for about 25 years. I'm a law professional. I keep seeing that, people are struggling, only to recover the claim. So the point is, industry is evolving, but the claim process is becoming complicated day by day. To recover a claim today is a mammoth task, is a project in itself. And claim is never, treated as a project neither by the customer. Lot of time intermediary, they put up the best effort, but when the customer is not prepared, and when the complications are created by the insurance industry and by the surveyor, then it becomes the showstopper, not the show maker. So that's the point I wanted to make.
probably standardization of the documents is very, very important here. And then,
Absolutely.
as Mr. Jay Govind is pointing out, we are living in a very prehistoric risk management
Sir,
era in India.
what I feel like I wanted to interrupt you on this. What I feel like that MSMEs, are into various sectors. Like they are not into a kind of a similar kind of business. We cannot correlate those kind of standardization of documentation, like what we are doing with health insurance. Health insurance, we know that there is a health insurance and it is related to a health of an individual. But whereas MSME, we are dealing with a different sector of business, and every sector of business in the MSME are having a different challenges, and the mode of operation is also completely different by each individual MSME owner or MSME company. So what I suggest is that yes, for standard documents which are very common in nature for all the MSME companies, we can have a similar kind of view of a standardized documentation. But there are some other documents like which will establish the nature of claim, which will establish the quantum of claim, which will establish the quantity of the claim. That where the entire ball game starts. There the real tasks of a surveyor or real task of an MSME member starts. So there the awareness is what is the lack. Yeah, I'm absolutely agreed with Mr. Vamshi, Mr. Tripathi, is that few things we can standardize, but few things it has to be completely a different thing where you people have to understand and make them understand that these documents
Mr. Jagan,
for
I'll give one
settlement.
example. I'm handling a turbine claim. Now, the laundry list start from when did you give the permission, why the government gave the permission, whether the environmental clearance was taken, what was the design feature of the turbine, where was it manufactured, who manufactured it, when was it supplied, did you get the NOC from the state? I mean, there's no end of it. And that is where the problem comes. These, sometimes I feel like 70-60% of the document are irrelevant. It is only about two things, very simple. One is admissibility, other is assessment, and third, whether the claim is genuine.
Yes.
If these parameters, if we have the standard documentation, irrespective of what kind of industry it is, industry doesn't matter. Now these three things matters. Claim is admissible, claim is genuine, and third is the assessment part of that's it.
So my point is ki some questions are relevance, I understand, but this is relevance at a time of underwriting, not at a time of claim. NOC is a necessary document, but why you are not asking at the time of placement of the business? If
And one point, I wanted, please go ahead, sir.
If any bank given the loan, they do all due diligence before the disbursement of loan. If they are not asking any paper after the disbursement of claim, so why insurance company not asking the limited list of documents at a time of underwriting, so that at a time of claim, some clarity of mind is already passed on to surveyor that this type of risk, this types of document, this types of claims comes, and it will be easier. Secondly, SME is a base of any economy. We cannot say again and again this is a very unorganized platform, because if you go back at 25 years or 30 years back, any big shot also was the SME. Because this is a basic truth. We understand, please. This is a basic truth that SME is a set of this type of operations. Every MD is a CFO, is a CEO, is a HR head. So industry adopt the SME, not SME adopt the industry. Why we cannot design a policy if bank is given a 5 lakh rupees loan without any documentation is a digital form? Why insurance company not pay the claim on digital base?
And another challenge, which industry faces, like suppose, the fire brigade is not there, or, the factory inspector permission is not there. Now, my point would always to the insurance industry would be, whatever is the maximum penalty or the punishment for the violation of, those things, you can maximum, limit, the reduction or the deduction to that extent only. Maybe if the fire brigade permission is not taken, now go back to the law and say, this is the penalty for not having the fire brigade report, or say the fire, the brigade approval. Now, beyond that, you want to exercise that since the fire brigade approval is not there, you want to deny the claim. You cannot go, you cannot over exercise, the power which are available within the specific rule. That also, consciousness should actually start prevailing within the insurance industry.
I think it's a never-ending topic. Claims के साथ problem है या फिर awareness के साथ problem है, but I think we'll move on to our next question on that note. Briefly, if you can tell me how critical is risk management via insurance to enabling MSMEs to scale confidently? Mr. Jagan, if you want to.
Yeah, Tanya. See, first of all, as every panel of members were suggesting, like there should be a prerequisite kind of checklist should be there when we are offering the policy to them to avoid the later consequences in MSME insurance policies. And this kind of exercise will always have a risk management very well, because risk management is one of the aspects for all the insurance professional that they have to, ensure what kind of MSME sector you are dealing with, or what kind of MSME business operations you are dealing with, and accordingly you have to suggest and make aware of the terms and conditions of the policy to the members of MSME, where they can analyze which is very, very important, that information should be noted down in advance to avoid the later consequences. As Mr. Rakesh sir is also saying, you always have to have a predefined set of checklist with in terms of while buying the insurance and while taking the claim also. Ultimately, Tanya, the only biggest question is now whether the MSME people are very much interested in buying an insurance. First of all, they do not want to enter into a lot of complex kind of process. So what I feel is that they wanted a shortcut thing where 1 to 10 points. These are the things which is very, very important. Okay, that complete documentation should be in such a way that the risk management should be taken care in that sense only, and it has to be explained them in a very, very layman language. You cannot use very complicated terminology to the business owners who do not, because their core competency is not insurance. Their core competency is to perform business. The core competency is selling businesses lies with us, lies with any of the insurance companies. So it is our duty to ensure that whatever we are going to explain to these MSME owners or businessmen, we need to explain them in a very layman language that what kind of operations or what kind of business they are dealing into and what are the risks they are having associated with that business. And once they understand this aspect, then it will be easy for us to pitch for the insurance, like what kind of insurance policies you should have in place, so that you should avoid your later claim difficulties, or getting a claim amount should not be a problem for them. This exercise, we do it with a lot of various big corporates, and in our case also, wherever we try to pitch for any MSME policies, so we make them ensure that they understand what exactly we are selling and what exactly they are buying from us. So this avoids 100% of risk, and the risk management can be easily overcome.
Mr. Rakesh, if you can add on this, how can MSMEs be incentivized to integrate insurance into their business continuity and growth planning?
See, first, while issuing these policies, one thing should be there, that unlimited third-party claims shall be included. Unlimited. Why I am saying unlimited? While we are driving a car, and if we hit a Mercedes, the claim is high. Even then, they are paying with the same amount. Right. Even deaths are more, insurance companies are paying. Here, the role of the government can also come. That if they should fix up that some amount that this should be taken from every MSME for the third party claims. If due to the fire something happens to the outsiders, to the neighbors, or to the environment, anything is there. When it is a third party claim, the government should step in and make a policy like that, that every industry should be covered under third party insurance unlimited, like in the case of cars. See, car is a very small, and see, we have to pay sometimes 10,000, 12,000 rupees, and even then everything is covered. But in a case of MSME, we even pay even 1 crore rupees. We're not sure how much things are covered. So it should be there. Second part, I'll tell you that it may be something for the future, we can say, but we have to think of now, only then we can enter into the future also. See that all the MSME owners, they should get one life insurance policy or some policy which is dealing with NCLT, that if something happens financially to them, or on something is there in the NCLT financially, or life threatening is there, then they should be covered with all the amount what they have to pay. All the loans, maybe home EMIs, maybe industry EMIs, maybe statutory payments, these should be covered under one place, and the company owner shall be given one insurance policy that you have to pay this much amount. Maybe it may be monthly, it may be yearly, or it can be regular base. But he should be covered, so that in case of any mishap, no one in the family later on suffers. He is the only sufferer. So that type of some policy shall come for MSMEs. So you see, one showstopper is required. This can be the showstopper for our insurance companies, that we are providing this type of insurance and you come under our umbrella. So maybe a thinking of future, and you can think of it. Thank you so much.
Perfect. So on that note, while we agree that a lot needs to be done on the claim process to make it easier and seamless for MSMEs, and while we agree that there is a middle ground somewhere where insurance companies and MSMEs need to meet. But that discussion is for another day. With this, we conclude that affordable insurance can empower the MSME businesses to absorb unforeseen losses, ensure business continuity, and foster investor and lender confidence. Thank you, dear panelists. It was a wonderful discussion, very insightful. We participated with great enthusiasm, and I do hope our audience will take learnings from this discussion like I have. So thank you so much. Lovely discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.